Raquel. If you'd like to know what's going on in your neighborhood, be a part of the decision-making, how about joining the neighborhood board? The commission office is looking for candidates right now, and joining me to talk about duties and how to apply is Executive Secretary Sean Hamamoto. Good morning, Sean. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you, Christine. Happy to be here.
So what is the purpose exactly of the neighborhood board, and how was it all created?
The board system was created over 40 years ago under the Fossey administration. Basically, it's an avenue for the community to interact with their government and elected officials, basically to help work on issues in their community.
Okay, and then how many boards are there currently?
Currently, we have 33 boards across the island.
It's a lot. And so people might be wondering how much time it involves. Do I get paid?
Yes, well, it's a volunteer position. Boards usually meet about once a month for about 2 hours or so, so not too bad.
And what happens with elections? When is it?
Our election period begins on April 28th and ends on May 19th. Candidate registration is still open until February 17th.
And the number of board members, does that just kind of depend on the size of the district, or is it all equal?
Yeah, it depends on the size of the district. Currently, in total, there's about 430 or so board members across the island.
Wow. And talk about their influence on big decision makers and lawmakers. A lot of new projects, I mean, they go to these neighborhood boards and present their presentations, and if you get a yay or nay, that's a big deal.
Yes, you know, on the one hand, these boards are advisory in nature. However, I can tell you that many of our government agencies heavily rely on the input of these neighborhood boards in making decisions and policies that affect the day-to-day lives of our community.
Can you give us maybe one example?
Sure, just a small example. I know in Chinatown there were some residents who wanted to move a bus stop. I made a call on their behalf to our Department of Transportation Services, and at that time the director told me, he said, Sean, we're going to need the approval of the neighborhood board before we even begin to think about this. So, you know, they really wanted to make sure that the community was truly behind this request. And that's just one example. Others are like park closures. Our departments of Parks and Recreation really rely on the advice of the neighborhood boards in determining park closures for each community, which differ.
All right, so if residents want to make an impact and do their part, this is a great place to
Yes,
start.
it is.
Okay, so recruitment is going on until February 17th.
Yes.
And that's the office at Kapalama Hale on Dillingham, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you can call 768-3781 for more info.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you and help you.
All right, thank you so much for what you do, Sean.
Thank you.